Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined again by Mark. How's it going, guy?
I'm back again.
We're back.
Hello.
We will have Miguel. He'll jump on as soon as he can make it on. But today we're going to discuss a few things about the Eagles, and we're going to go over our Mount Rushmore of Eagles that represent. Oh, here we go.
There he is.
He is. How's it going, Miguel?
What it do, fellas? What it do?
How's it going, buddy?
Not much. Same old, you know how it is.
Yes. So we're talking. Like I said, we're talking on today's podcast about our Mount Rushmore of Eagles, the Eagles who represent the team for the best over the best 90 years of the existence of the franchise. Yes, Mark.
I got something for you.
Yes.
You might notice above my head, I have a few pops back there.
I do see a few of them. My eyes cannot
I only
read what
had
they are.
3 as of last week.
You've got
All right,
4.
you guys may remember I had the Mandalorian, I had Justin Herbert, and I had the Therizinosaurus, which is my favorite dinosaur. And I have recently received another.
Uh-oh. Is this? It has to be an eagle, right? There's no question. It has to be an eagle. Is it the new Jalen Hurts one? Is it? Yes. Let's see. It is the Jason
Kelce signed pop.
I remember you saying you were going to put in for that. You did get it, huh?
Yeah,
that's cool.
He signed all of them, and it came in a hard case.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So got a nice Jason Kelce signature there on the back.
Sweet.
Got a little pop of him without a shirt, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah,
Little beer can in his hand.
The infamous Buffalo Bills game where he's out there.
I get
shirt
why
off.
the hat is in Bills colors.
Yeah.
I get it. Kind of wish it was in Eagles colors, but I get it.
Yeah, sure.
But yes, I officially have a 4th pop, and I don't even collect pops, but now I do.
Now you do. When you have
Especially
4, that's a
ones.
collection. That's a collection when you have 4.
Exactly.
So what we're going to talk about is our Mount Rushmore of Eagles players that represent the Eagles. Well, not players and or coaches, if you want, that represent the Eagles. And then we got some news on the Hot Wire Eagles news. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, like and follow. If you're listening on Spotify, are you following us? It's time to do that.
Good call.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Some highlights, I guess you could say that news. This guy from ESPN, Chris Carlin, stated that members of the Eagles locker room don't like how Jalen Hurts handled himself, in quotes, after going to the Super Bowl and got paid and said things can blow up and get ugly. So apparently, this guy, whoever it is, Chris Carlin is throwing some things out that he may or may not know is going on in the locker room. And is it blasphemy? May or may not be. I don't know. I cannot comment on that. How do you guys feel, Mark? How do you feel about that?
He's in the media.
Yeah, he works for ESPN.
Bullshit hot takes, in my opinion. That's all they are anymore. Every media member, from the highest, most famous, paid people on ESPN and Twitter to, the local beat writers, they all get it wrong 90% of the time. I'm waiting to see what the players say, when the players come out, how they interact. We've had a lot of speculation last year, a lot of miscommunication with some people, and AJ Brown came out and talked to people about it, saying how, like, look, you guys keep talking, you guys keep saying things, but none of it's true. Stop talking about it. So I don't care. He can say all he wants. He can come out and say, hey, Jalen Hurts walks around naked and, hands out balloons to every player every time. I don't care. I don't listen to a thing you're going to say right now. Until Jalen Hurts comes out and goes, yeah, after every win, I walk around naked handing out balloons. I'm like, all right, that's clearly what he does. Obviously he does not do that. I'm just saying, like, that's how much I trust media members right now. Like, none of that, it doesn't mean shit.
Well, let's see, Miguel. You're actually it's very fair. You're wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey. So what do you
Yeah.
have to say? What do you have to say?
Well, and I have listened to Carlin before because he used to be on 98.7 in New York. So I mean, I take it with a grain of salt because he's from New York. He's gonna give the New York view of the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a little bit of hate, a little bit of sarcasm or whatever it may be. But I do find it kind of odd that Jalen's not as social media friendly as most of his other teammates are, and I haven't seen him really, other than the AJ softball game, really be out with any other teammates outside of Eagles practices or events. So I don't know if that's something that is being a spotlight this year as far as Jalen is concerned, but I haven't heard anybody speak ill of him yet in the media or even hinted to it. So I'm just going to say that what Carlin's saying is just speculation and just something to get clicks, just like, what's that guy Collinsworth does to us sometimes?
Yeah.
Or not Collinsworth.
Chris Sims. Chris Sims.
Chris Sims, that guy.
Yeah.
So I think
they know how to poke the bear, or would you say poke the eagle? They know how to do it.
I mean, you want to get the I guess we're fourth or fifth in as far as media consumption. So who doesn't want those clicks?
Yeah, exactly. Looking
say
for
something crazy and let the Eagles fans click on us.
That's right. That's why they look at Hard Knocks just came out. They're
has it already come out?
The Giants' first episode came out, and
it's more like a version of us just sitting around talking about football because that's what they basically did. There was no players; it was just all front office people.
Wow, really?
It's discussing what they should do with Saquon Barkley. And the quote was, "No one's going to pay him, right? So we can't trade him. So we could probably get him. We could get him on the cheap." And I guess they didn't understand what Howie was going to do.
No one knows what Howie's going to do. That's why he's Howie. Even as Eagles fans, we don't know what he's going to do. That's why we celebrate him, and the next thing I want to wring his neck because he doesn't know what he's doing drafting. All of a sudden, he signs. Right. Like, how did you pull that up? How did you AJ Brown for nothing, and yet you then go ahead and you draft Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson? I want to strangle you half the time. Nobody knows what he's going to do.
Well, speaking of AJ Brown, he goes, the Saquon video fired me up. It wasn't even about me. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you get yours, fam. So he's excited. This is perfect. This is going to be perfect for when they play the Giants, the first game.
We're gonna make the Giants hate us more, huh? We're just gonna. How many years? When's the last time we lost to the Giants?
Well, I think
did we lose to them last year?
Yeah, we lost last year.
That doesn't count. Those are going to collapse.
I mean, one of their quotes was, "I can't have a $40 million quarterback hand off to a $12 million running back." So,
well,
I don't know what the Giants were thinking there, but okay.
Well, Eagles have 50? I guess you could technically Jalen gets $35 million, so
it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
$5 million.
Gotta save that money, boys.
It's amazing what certain franchises will talk about players who are That was he was big. Saquon Barkley was the Giants guy. Their base. It was based off of that. Their whole and now they're just we can probably get him back cheap.
You know why?
Trade him. Why?
He's
why?
A running back. No one values running back. Yes, I know so. Are you kidding? Look what we just did to Swift. Swift had a 1,000-yard season with us. Did phenomenally. Is younger. Probably has more years left in the tank. What we do? Nah. Why? Are you kidding me? Are you after that? No one lets go of a young running back 1,000-yard season the very next year, unless it's running back. Any other player? If we had a young receiver that's 23, 24-year-olds had 1,000-yard year that year, are we letting him go? God, no. God, no way.
Yeah, it'd be like letting Devontae Smith go.
Yeah, you're not letting Devontae go.
Yeah.
Not young with all that potential. No, but we'll let running back go because the running backs are replaceable.
Right. Yeah, well, I think Howie knows that probably Saquon has 3 years left, and that's what he's going to get out of him.
That's it.
He probably won't. They'll probably get 1.5. He'll probably trade him next year. Maybe keep him for 2.
Wow. I heard somebody quoted that Saquon is going to be what Christian McCaffrey was.
No, you got to think, though,
49ers.
If Saquon has a phenomenal year behind our O-line, okay, and his value skyrockets, he's a running back. You can't tell me how he doesn't look at that and think money, trade him away for picks or something in the future. If he puts up like a 1,200-yard season, he's gone. I can guarantee it.
Really? Mark that? I don't know.
Mark it down, bro. That's money, bro. You remember Howie is a financial guy. He's looking at this going, checks, bills, money. Like, what are we doing? You get how old? Almost 30-year-old running back, right?
Yeah,
28, 29 years old.
28.
Put up like 1,000, 1,200-yard season. The rest of the league's going, damn. Look how good he is when he's not playing on the Giants. You got teams going like, hey, how about a second-round pick and this player? And Howie's going, you know what? Bet. Like, that's money in the bank.
We'll see.
You know what? Let's see. I want to see him do it first.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about that.
It's all speculation.
Yes. There was a talk that somebody said that the Lions have a better offensive line than the Eagles. How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't.
Lions.
I don't have to argue that. I think I actually might accept that for now. Penei Sewell is a better tackle than Mailata. I love Mailata. Penei Sewell's better. Their right tackle, I can't remember his name right now.
Penei Sewell is old, isn't he?
No, he's 24, 25. He's one of the younger. He's like the future Hall of Fame tackle at a young age already. He's a boss. The tackle on the other side, whose name I can't remember, is equal with Lane Johnson. He's a phenomenal tackle. I think the hardest thing with us is losing Kelsey. You know, obviously, I think Cam Jurgens should do fine, but I think as an analyst, you're looking at Detroit has a complete O-line that's been playing phenomenally. The Eagles have a 90% complete O-line just because they have to kind of see how it's going to shake out with our guards and center. I would accept that Detroit might have a better O-line than us right now.
You can accept that, you said.
Yeah, I can accept that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't really see any names that stand out that were like Pro Bowlers last year.
Yeah.
The Eagles had 3 Pro Bowlers on their line.
We lost one.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, all right.
There's a new reel out. It's from Fantasy Football SAV, I guess Fantasy Football Save. He says that there's one team out there that could go 17-0. It was a team that
Sports Illustrated has Penei Sewell rated as the number 1 lineman in the NFL.
Wow. Well, he says that this team can go 17-0 next year. That it has hired a new offensive coordinator. It has had its controversies and this and that. And he believes the Eagles can go 17-0. And I'm not this guy. I don't know if he's an Eagles fan or not, but he believes that Eagles can go 17-0 only from the few additions that they've added and the subtractions, of course. Do you think really quickly the Eagles could go 17-0?
I mean,
I always think I do.
When the schedule came out, I think we all said pretty much the same type of numbers, right? Like 13 14 wins. What's another 3 wins that we didn't really expect?
Yeah.
So
look, it's any given Sunday. Yes, the Eagles can definitely go 17-0. Will they? I don't think so. I think 13 wins is a good goal. I think 17 is possible, but it's a long season. And we noticed that last year. What happened 2 years ago when nobody got hurt? Nobody got hurt 2 years ago. No one expected us to do as well as we did. We trounced everybody, got all the way to it. And then last year, everyone got really hyped about it. We got injured a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking at PFF as well. Sewell's number 1, Trent Williams number 2, and Jordan Mailata is the number 3 rated tackle, number 3 rated O lineman.
Yeah, I think last year kind of affected a lot of people's ratings on the Eagles. Was that safe to say? Yeah.
But I will say, though, I think, and beyond just my own personal bias from coming out of college, I've watched enough tape. Sewell is, I mean, the fact that every analyst out there is calling him, one of the best, if not the best O-lineman. Like, I would argue, I could see the argument that whole O-line might be better than ours as an overall rating. But I mean, I think it's 1 and 2. I don't think we're, anywhere for. I would say at minimum we're top 3. I know a lot of people are going to say that San Fran's O-line is really good.
Well, a lot of people are saying that San Francisco has the best offensive line, the best receivers, the best running backs, the best defense of line. It's like, there's no why even play this season if San Francisco is that good?
Oh, because San Francisco is a money team and they can't win.
That's right.
No, they can't even sign Ayuk right now. So
no, they're having a hard time with that.
Yeah, they're having a big issue with that.
Ayuk roll.
The one final thing I wanted to bring up is that they just revealed players' grades on the I guess players' grades on the facilities, the food, the nutrition, the facilities and nutritionists, the dietitians that they have, and the head coaches. They like people's comments on the head coaches.
That's why we talked about this before.
No, this is a brand new one that just came out.
No, the last one, no. So the one we talked about last time was the facilities in general. This one is particularly about the food and nutrition availability to people.
Got you. Okay.
And so the Eagles got a grade of 3 for nutrition and diet. So, they're feeding the players appropriately. They are giving the nutrition value that a lot of teams got Fs. Like the 49ers got an F. Not 49ers, I'm sorry, the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the Chiefs got an F in nutrition and diet, which was I thought that was a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, they serve fast food there.
I guess so. But then also they talked about the Eagles, asked the Eagles about their coach, and the coach is ranked, I think 1, but they said that he listens to the locker room. They think he appreciates what they say and their input, and they value his presence. Now, that's why, in my opinion, I think that was in question last year. Would you not agree with that? That his presence was in question?
No, definitely.
I think the media said his presence was in question.
I think it looked like his presence was questioned just by the way that team played. Would you say, Miguel?
Definitely. I mean, the 10-1 collapse. Like he didn't. His presence wasn't felt in that collapse. That's for sure. I'm not sure. Well, we know what happened in the locker room over rumors, but he didn't establish himself. He didn't correct the things that needed to be corrected. So, of course, you're gonna, as a leader, you're gonna get questioned. Like, well, why wasn't it, handled? But it is what it is. The collapse was the collapse, and this is a new season. Let's not talk about old shit.
No, just but what I want to point out is that it's a good thing to see that players are still behind this guy, and that maybe we're going to be, it's going to be different next year.
We also feed our players more than just cheesesteaks.
I mean, right. But they've been making a big deal about Jalen hasn't come out. Like I think they asked him a question on how Sirianni's role has been since Moore has been, the offensive coordinator, and he kind of gave like a half-hearted question, like a half-hearted answer, and he didn't establish hey, he's doing a great job. Like he gave it like he's doing type emotion. So I'm kind of wondering what the dynamic is between Jalen and Sirianni, especially after last season where we seen him kind of trying to reel Sirianni in from his emotions at times on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So just that one question I know has been lingering out there. A lot of podcasts have been talking about that one specific interview, and he hasn't really talked much since. So
I will say, I think that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to be a factor for Eagles fans and their reactions to the way the people are. Is that I don't know if Hurts recognized it, but like you were saying, like he tried to like reel in Sirianni, his emotions. The emotions are, I think, something that Eagles fans gravitate to. We like to see energy in our people, our players at every level, every sport. We don't really bode well with the guys who are buttoned up and quiet. And we're very appreciative of Hurts and what he's done. But I think that's one of the biggest criticisms is how he stayed stoic, how he stays quiet. It's like, bro, look, we get it, but show some energy, show some passion. That's what Philadelphia is, a passionate city. We are not a ho-hum, it's next year's city. We're not as stupid as the Cowboys, where every year is our year, rah-rah, but every damn year we have some expectations. And one of those expectations is that you're going to show up. Whether or not you guys, like, I don't care if we go 17-0 or 7-10. Show up with energy, desire to win. If you're showing up and you're bringing passion, you're out there fighting tooth and nail, and we happen to lose, I still love you. I still love this team. That's like my biggest thing with the Flyers, man. Like a few years ago when they started to kind of fall apart, they've been falling apart. This last year was actually a really nice one, but like you'd watch it. You watch the game, and we were the Broad Street Bullies back in the day, so you're kind of used to the Flyers, if you're a hockey fan, being a rough and hard hitting team. And a few years have gone by where like you're watching the game, and you're like, there's no energy. They're out there skating, they're shooting, but like they're not hitting people. They're not trying to force something to happen. They're just meh. This year was a little better. We want to see that same with the Eagles. We see the same thing with the Sixers. You don't want to just see them take the shots. You want to see them trying to force plays to happen. Yeah, sometimes it bites us. Sometimes you try to go big, it doesn't go well. You throw an interception, you miss a steal in basketball and let up a 3-point. Stuff happens, but you know what? We want to see you go for it. The Eagles fan base is a send it fan base. The whole weather report for Philadelphia is full send. If we don't see it full send, we're not as invested. We don't care about the wins and losses as much. We care about the energy going into it. What have you ever seen? I mean, I'm sure you guys have definitely seen it. Anytime you watch, a Phillies game, when there's a home run and that bell's ringing, you see that fan base, you see the passion, especially you see Harper when like it's like a clutch moment. He's like, come on, he's all excited about it. That's awesome. You see a guy hit a home run and just kind of jog around, you'd be like, go get into it, my guy. You just like won us the game. What are you doing? You're just like, no, like, no, what? What are you doing? I've seen baseball players do that. Like they'll win a game, and they kind of just jog around. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, there's different players like that.
Yeah, you gotta have that energy. Philadelphia needs the energy. You come in with the energy. The fact that the ratings come out saying we support our coach makes me happy. I could also believe that maybe part of it is I'm done with the media. We're not going to tell you what is behind the closed doors. We're going to let you just make up your baloney and have a good day. I could see that too, but I'm just saying I want to see more energy out of everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you with the media. Like we were talking a couple episodes ago about how the Eagles can't wear green in Brazil, and it's coming out as that is false. My Instagram posts about that have been tagged for fake news, and that is not a true statement yet. That is not true from the NFL. The NFL has not stated that. It's been, I guess, been pushed around all over the internet that the Eagles can't wear green or the Packers can't wear green. It's actually something that hasn't been stated by the NFL, and it came out as fake.
I think what the difference is that it's not. I think a lot of people said that it's a rival of the team that's the home base for, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's more of the green is because of the gang that's out there that they wear green. It's not so much of a soccer rivalry or anything.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So I'm just excited to see how that's going to pan out. But as of today of this recording, we are Jason Kelce number away from opening day.
This guy right here.
62 days away from September 6th. So yeah, I'm excited for it. So now let's just transition into how the Eagles have, I guess you could say, ascended into the popularity that they are today. Players have come and go, but certain players, I guess, withstand the test of time and kind of instill their being within the franchise. And so I want to talk about what your Mount Rushmore, since we're coming off of a 4th of July celebration, or Mount Rushmore of Eagles, I guess an eagle. You could say an eagle that would be on your Mount Rushmore. I'll let Mark go because Mark was already talking about it with me.
Okay.
Miguel gives you a little bit of time to think about it.
Am I naming all four or just one?
Why don't you do all four?
All right. So my four, and I'm a little biased based on obviously players that I knew growing up. Obviously, I'll start with the most recent, the man himself, Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
I think he's got to be there. He's just too important. I would say Dawkins is on my Mount Rushmore. Transcends the game itself. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't include Reggie White. And then I know it's a bit of a trying to think of the word. A bit of, I guess, of an expected answer, but I feel he deserves to be there because of who he is and what he's done. I think Chuck Bednarik.
Okay.
I think, there's a whole reason there's an award named after him.
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure.
If you gave me a decision to make an award for, secondary, it'd probably be a Dawkins award or a Weapon X award. It's like those guys are those guys. So that I think those four stand the test of time. I mean, their names to this day. I can talk to almost any Eagles fan out there, name those four guys, and everyone knows them. I didn't watch Chuck Bednarik play. He played in like the 50s?
Yeah, 50s and 60s.
Never did I see a game of him playing. But I know his name. I know history about him.
His hit, the hit on Frank Gifford.
Yeah. So I think when your name is that well known with the sport of football too, not just the Eagles, he is that well known with the sport of football. And Reggie White is, I can talk to people around the league. Everyone knows Reggie White. Dawkins well known, and Jason Kelsey is probably one of the most popular players, probably the most popular O lineman in the NFL right now. Well,
his foundation the last weekend raised almost $825,000 as to this recording and counting. So
yeah,
oh, wow,
yeah, he's a good guy. So yeah, those are my Mount Rushmores.
So that's a good one.
Nice.
All
right. Well, to me, it's like so the Mount Rushmore was carved right to represent birth, growth, and preservation of the nation, right? So I kind of go on with not too much different from what Mark just gave us. I am gonna go Chuck Bernard to set the tone of what the Eagles culture was back in the early days, right?
Yep.
Then we're gonna go. I'm gonna go Brian Dawkins because how can you not go Brian Dawkins?
Exactly.
I'm gonna give somebody credit because it was the first quarterback that we can say that he was took us to a whole new level. So you got to put McNabb up there.
Oh,
as much as
McNabb.
Yeah.
As much as I got tired of the shoelace throws, what he's represented as far as the quarterback position, and
wow.
I mean, name somebody else. I mean, Nick Foles. Yeah, great. I won the Super Bowl.
Before you said McNabb, I started writing Cunningham. I thought you were going to say Randall Cunningham.
Both of those are on my thoughts.
Yeah, he's an honorable mention, Cunningham. Yeah. Unfortunately, too injury prone. He didn't take us to the next level. McNabb got us there.
Yeah.
And my last one I'm gonna put on there, Coach Andy Reid.
Wow, you are.
I like that.
What he stood for. He set a tone. I mean, and I debated between him and Howie because they set a culture here, and they set expectations, and it's a foundation for us to build on as a team for the future, and hopefully that culture translates in generations to come. But yeah, those are my guys.
I said we left Andy Reid. We got some chips and dip. It's been a long story since.
Right. Before I give you mine, I put up on Instagram. People were able to give me their four.
Okay.
Some people said Kelsey, White, McNabb, and Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Foles, Cunningham, Dawkins, Kelsey.
I could see Foles getting his due.
Yeah. Kelsey, Dawkins, White, and Fletcher Cox. I thought that was an interesting one. Kelsey, Doc, White, and Bednarik. And I'm not sure if this was a joke or not, but he was Fulgham, Ward, Sutfeld, and Jordan Howard.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
trolling.
that was
Yeah,
really good.
a bit of a
That was
troll
really
there.
good.
Jalen
Uh,
Reagor.
Right.
Yeah,
those
right.
are
White
guys that we put so much time and effort into that we needed to be better than they were.
Yeah.
So actually, mine is pretty. I picked Chuck Bednarik. My dad watched Bednarik play. He was the guy's name was Concrete Charlie. Like, you don't get a name. You don't get a name like that for just lollygagging it out to the field. That guy had like concrete hands. Like, he was made out of concrete.
Right.
So Chuck Bednarik, definitely number one. Jason Kelsey is on there too for me because he has transcended the offensive line position. Like, there has been offensive linemen that we've known over the past, like Anthony Muniz. We know who Anthony Muniz is. Jason Kelsey did something different. He's different, and he's like, he's got a Wawa sandwich named after him now. Him and his wife. Like, his wife,
Yeah.
everybody doing. Yeah,
You go to Wawa,
yeah.
you can get the Kelsey sandwiches.
The Jason or the Kylie. I had
Yeah,
the
really.
Jason the other day.
I had Jason too. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Except that they didn't make it right, which I was a little pissed off with. But it's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I was in Jersey. I can't expect much.
Yeah. So
Hey.
They
so
make things a little different in Jersey, huh, Miguel?
Just a little bit.
a little bit. So that's why Jason Kelsey's on there for me. Number 3 is Reggie White. The Minister of Defense. He was the guy that solidified that Eagles defense in those late 80s, 90s teams. And it would be a little bit of a different story if Jerome Brown didn't die, and the Eagles could have probably gone a lot further. That's a whole other. Everybody knows that story. And I'm with Miguel, with Andy Reid. Andy Reid changed the culture of Eagles football through from the late 90s through the 2000s, and I think he helped make the Eagles the team they are today because of his culture that he emplaced and how he managed his team and how his coaches managed the team. Like, his coaching tree has won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
There's not many people out there who have coaches off their tree go win a Super Bowl. There's not many.
It is uncommon. What you got me thinking. Imagine an all Eagles team, like an all-time Eagles team. How gross would that be if you just had the prime players from every decade on one team at their best? Because you got me thinking about that. Like, imagine having Reggie White, Chuck Bednarik, on one team with Brian Dawkins. Just those 3 players on one team.
Yeah, in prime. They're prime. Yeah, like at the age of, like, say, 28. Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be nasty. But I mean,
that would be an interesting. Like, I might have to take some time and just take everyone's stats at the age of 28. Just say it's just 28. Pretty. I guess is 28 their prime. 27.
I think probably more like 25, 26. Honestly,
25, 26 prime.
If anything, you know what? EA. I know you're not listening. You don't listen to anybody, but listen to me for once. Do this for the fans. Make an all team for every team. The absolute best. Look, you've got millions of people or thousands of people. They can do all the stats, get all the information, try to give the best score projections possible, and make an all-time team for each team. A game mode where everyone can play that. That would be epic. That would be amazing.
Yeah, they do it for 2K for basketball teams. I don't know why they wouldn't do it for NFL team. Maybe it's just harder for like certain positions. So
I think it's also you got to think that for basketball, there's like 6 players. So like. It's not
5.
as much.
It's
5
11
players.
It's 11's for the bench with a bench, but
yeah, so they're probably like you can probably look at 5 players over and over throughout the years, and it's a little easier than trying to go through like 22.
Right.
A bit more math to go through. Plus, I think is the NFL older? I would think it is.
Technically, it is.
I'd say it feels older.
It's not. It's not older. It's not older than baseball.
No, but then basketball.
Yeah, it is. I think basketball isn't as old as football.
Let's look it up for shits and giggles.
Work the Google machine.
Exactly.
Google it. So yeah,
the NBA is 77 years old.
Yeah.
And
And
the
the
NFL is from 1920, so it's 104 years old.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm happy with this set of, but so I would say Benerick is on everyone, on all three of ours. Benerick is the top guy.
The NHL is older.
I mean,
NHL is older.
You got to leave all. I mean, it's hard to leave off Steve Van Buren. What he meant back in the day.
I wouldn't say it's easy to do what we did.
Well, it's also if you want to talk about Miguel, you said McNabb was, but really the first quarterback to take the Eagles to the Super Bowl is Ron Jaworski.
Yeah, right. I thought I had Jaws on my list.
Did you?
I was just at one of his golf clubs last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Jaws. I thought, I think he did a lot of great things for us, but I feel like the players I named are just a little bit more like I said, Bednarik changed the sport. Reggie White is too good to pass up. Dawkins changed the way that secondaries play. I mean, we have more penalties now because of the way Dawkins played than we used to.
Probably.
Like, good or bad, I named three of the guys who changed the sport, in my opinion. And then I think Jason Kelce changed the idea that the league has of O-linemen. I think I told you before, we were talking about earlier when we talked about Detroit having like the top O-line. Most people cannot name their O-line players, even for the teams they're fans of. Eagles are weird. We love our O-line, and Kelce particularly is one of the most famous, if not the most famous of all time when it comes to that.
All right. Well, I think that since Kelce is now officially retired, Cam Jurgens is going to have to be the real guy. He's going to have to
I think we need
to master what Kelce did.
I think we need to immediately, as a fan base, blanket ourselves with the ideal that we need to not put that pressure on Jurgens. He is not Kelce. He cannot replace Kelce. You cannot expect him to replace Kelce. We need to start that right this minute. Because if we do,
that might be too hard. That might be too hard to do.
I mean, that's for him to live up to, right? Like, so it's the pressure that he puts on himself. I don't think so much as what the fans say or how they compare him to Kelce. It's just what he will carry himself as in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, if he puts that pressure on him to try to live up to Jason Kelce's shoes, he's never going to be the player that we need him to be. You know what I mean? As long as he's out there doing what he can do, that's all we ask.
I think kind of like we talked about earlier on one of the other podcasts about like how we do that. We compare players to like stars all the time. Like, people are constantly trying to compare to Michael Jordan, to LeBron. People are trying to compare. Right now, I was just watching golf. People are trying to compare like Colin Morikawa to like Tiger Woods. And it's like, stop trying to compare to the greatest players to ever play the game. Like, let them play their careers as themselves. And then towards the end of their career, like nowadays, now I can compare Jason Kelce to Jeff Saturday, two phenomenal centers, because they're both retired. Now I can do that comparison and go,
right.
Jeff Saturday might have been a more technical or like a more all-around looking center, but Kelce knew the game better. Kelce knew his plays better because he had to. He was a smaller in stature guy. He made better decisions, where Saturday was just what you want out of a center to begin with. So I can make that comparison. They're both retired. They're both deserved of their name being well-known. I feel like we got to stop with this. Especially, it's such a thing to do, comparing especially young players. Kids come out of the draft, they're like, "Oh, he's the next Tom Brady." It's like, no, stop it, bro. Oh, he's the next Jerry Rice. What are you doing? Man, like, let the guy play a couple of years. Let him understand the game. We're too hard on that.
It's like drafting your son in a round and like expecting greatness, right?
Do you imagine if your son was like a backup, not even deserving to get drafted, and you said, "You know what? Make him number one because he's my son." Crazy thought process. Crazy.
A little fun fact. I think I sent it to you, Miguel. The stats on players drafted. Let's see, where is it? Shoot. But it was like people who are drafted the same position as Bron James Jr. got 2-way contracts, $33,000, and he gets
Yeah.
a whopping $3 million.
Wonder
And
why.
that's nepotism to the highest level right there.
It's going to be really crazy when the same thing happens next year in the NFL, when Deion Sanders, new coach of the Cowboys, drafts Shedeur Sanders, and the whole league goes,
What is going on here?
Yeah. But I see it. It happening. Deion coaching the Cowboys.
And the way they've been trying to spin it, he's deserving of this contract. Man, get out of here. Who are you guys lying to? You only did it.
They're lying to themselves.
Yeah.
They're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves.
100%.
It's a real, like, it's the Lakers, I believe, are becoming a big joke, is what it is to me. To hire JJ Redick, I know this is a Eagles thing, but it's like to hire JJ Redick, who has, he coached fourth grade basketball for a year, to like think he can coach the NBA is ridiculous. Now, Granted, he has hired assistants who have a lot of experience. He hired Nate McMillan, who has, he was with the Supersonics and the Hawks, so he has a lot of coaching experience. It's going to, hopefully that'll help him. So
it's not going to. The Lakers, they lost Kobe and they lost it all. It's going downhill ever since.
Yeah,
LeBron doesn't deserve to win there.
Well, they did. They technically did. It is a Mickey Mouse trophy, but they did. So here, this is the stats. So guys who are drafted number 55: Kyle Guy, 2-way contract; Jay Shrub, 2-way contract; Aaron Wiggins, 2-way contract; Guy Santos, $75,000 guaranteed; Bronny James, $4.4 million guaranteed.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's a laughing.
Wasn't there also a thing where like someone had said that like Bronny had said that he shouldn't even enter the draft this year? Like he had like admitted like one of his friends or like coaches that like I'm not ready for the NBA.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
I know. Bronny's come out and said that he didn't care where he got drafted to. He just wanted to be drafted. It was more of his dad that wanted him to go to the Lakers than anything. Right. But that speaks highly. Like every team passed on you. Like the Lakers drafted at the bottom of the second round. Like
Well, they also were told that if they drafted him, he would go play in Australia for some reason. So I don't know if that is true or not. It's just it doesn't look good. Michael Jordan had two sons. They both played basketball. They both played. One played in Florida somewhere. Another one, I think, quit in the middle of a season. He wasn't pushing his kids to be drafted by the Chicago Bulls. You never heard
at all,
or even at all. You're even at all.
Well, his one son married Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, so there's that.
Yes. And apparently, in 2 years, his other son is going to be in the draft, and he could also get drafted by the Lakers. So that's.
Is his other son better than Bronny? Because I feel like all I'm hearing statistic-wise that Bronny had no right to even be in the draft.
Yeah.
He could be in the draft. Doesn't mean
name me another player that got drafted that averaged 5.5 points a game.
I don't know. You don't know about them. Better than that. You don't know about them. You just don't know about those players.
And they're like,
honestly, Caitlin Clark in the NBA might average 5 points a game.
She does. She almost had a first ever.
She's in the WNBA. I said in the NBA.
Oh.
She might do better than Bronny in the NBA.
Yeah.
True.
So that's interesting. Anyway, back to the Eagles. I think we got our Mount Rushmore. It's glad to have you, the three of us, back again. We've been just double before, but now we're
the three amigos.
The three amigos are back again. Hopefully, we'll be back next week with you same time, guys, and we'll see you then.
All right.
Sounds good.
You know how we do. EAGLES
Eagles. It sounds better when he says it.
It does.
Hey, Mike, hit that generic music. I don't know what else to play.